That all-wheel drive one is.
Ready? All right, let's go. All right, so we're gonna lower the IS250. First thing you want to do is take off with the little plastic clips. They just pop off. You get access to the 3 bolts up here at the top. But first, obviously, take off the tire, jack the car up, both sides up in the air. We took off the plastic covers, and we're just ready to take things apart. We're gonna do this quick, so I don't waste your time. Let's do this. So everything's exposed. All right, first thing you wanna do is we're gonna take this metal clip off, all right? I'm gonna turn on the light so you guys can see it. All right. Easy as so. Go to the side. All right. So you guys should have an impact gun, because if you do it by hand, you're gonna have a problem. These nuts and bolts are on there tight, so you can do it with regular hand tools, but it's gonna take a long time. So, all right, very first thing is, all right. We're gonna take the nut off from this guy right here, this bushing, this link on the opposite side right here. Just gonna loosen it up and move it out of the way. Jay, you want to come over here on this side so they can see it? There you go. Perfect. Ready? Perfect. Came out really smooth. All right. So on the link, just pull it out. Bam. Easy. I don't have nothing jacked up over here. Nothing on the control arm. It just pulls right out on this link. All right. Next, we're going to pull out the shock bolt. So that one is going to be a 19 millimeter. So remember, guys, the hand tool, you gotta have something with power. So I got this Milwaukee gun. I'm not affiliated with them, but just have something that can break, you know, the bolts and nuts easy. So check it out. I'm gonna bust this one loose. You ready? All right, got that loose. So while you're doing that, you might want to come to the opposite side and push the bolt through. At that point, just pull the bolt out, the nut. Easy as so. Pretty quick, right? It was really fast.
Sensor and
Yep. Next, we're gonna pull the sensor. Guys, there's a sensor back here. I don't know if you can see it. It's very hard to see. This is a anti-lock brake sensor. So there's you got to use a flat tip screwdriver and kind of wedge this. Let me see if I can get in here. It's gonna be a little tough here. No. There we go. So basically, it just pops right out. All right, so. All right, so now next thing, don't forget, we gotta take this 10 millimeter ABS sensor bolt off the shock. So, and great, I'm missing my 10 millimeter. All right.
got it.
Move that out of the way. It's out of the way. Bam. All right, so now we're gonna take this guy off, upper control arm, the bolt. Let's see what size. Looks like it's gonna be a 17. So obviously I got 2 different size impact guns. Bam, got that off. Now, obviously I took this nut off. I don't want to damage this nut while removing this. So I'm gonna use a pre-existing nut that was on the other suspension that doesn't have the crown on it. Just gonna put this back in, just kind of slide it on myself. You do not want to ruin this, the threads on this guy. You will have a bad day. Your car will be down for a long time. Not a long time, but you know what I mean. You're not gonna be able to change the upper control arm that fast. So anyways, long story short, you gotta go get a, what do you call it? One of these Pitman arm removers and slide it over and use the nut as a guide. You don't want to ruin the thread. So as so, put it on. All right, let's see. Here we go. Oh, that was easy. That one came off. So some of them don't come out easy like that. Bam, it's out of the way. Look at that, ready to go. All right, next we're gonna go to the top of the shock and remove three bolts. I'm sorry, 3 nuts at the top to drop the shock. So that one's gonna be a 14 millimeter. All right, so now we're gonna pull the shock out of the way, or the strut, or whatever you want to call it. Bam, as easy as 1, 2, 3, it's out. Well, it was like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it was. So anyways, long story short, before you even disassemble this, make sure you get some spring compressors and compress the spring so you can take the spring out. Another thing is, before you even take this apart, make sure you line up. You see this stud that's sticking out? Make sure you just line up or make some markings where this stud actually is pretty much straight down, straight to the bottom of the shock. So when you reinstall it, pretty much this stud needs to be in the same direction as the shock. Pretty much straight. If you're off, you're gonna have a tough time adjusting it. So anyways, long story short, that was pretty quick to remove the front suspension. As easy as having the basic tools, having the right tools on hand. Ready to go. Cut off the bump stop. So that's it, should look like that. Ready to do the install. All right, we're gonna lower the rear of the Lexus IS250. So you gotta remove basically your carpet in the back so you can get access to the nuts right here. 14 millimeter, 14, 14, and a 17 millimeter. So just remove the carpet out of the way, you're ready to go. So the very first thing is we're gonna remove these 10 millimeter nuts. There's about, I would say, how many? 5? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's one up here. So I'm gonna start on that real quick. I'm gonna use a air gun. I'm not air gun. What do you call it? Electric gun. All right. So this, the reason we got to move this out of the way is because we need to get to the 2 of these 12 millimeter bolts right here. 1, 2. So that's next. I'm going to remove these 2. All right. So I got a 12 millimeter right here. we got that out of the way. So the next thing is we're gonna remove this little I think you call it a little, what kind of little bracket is this? It's called what do we call it, Jason? Freaking, oh, link. We're gonna remove this link. We got some of that YouTube music going on in the background on the TV. We're watching some car videos at the same time. But anyways, long story short, let's remove this. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to remove this, not remove the whole control arm, but just we're gonna get everything loosened up. So the next thing you want to do is you could use, well, I don't think you could use a impact wrench over here, but you need something flexible. But we're not gonna fully remove the bolt, we're just gonna loosen it up. This is a 19 millimeter back here. All right, that's out of the way. All right, just loosen that up. Don't even pull it out. Next two bolts we're gonna take out are these two right here. One for the shock and one to the control arm. This one and this one. So we're gonna remove that. That's a 19 millimeter. So you need something heavy duty for this. So this is the trick part right here. It's gonna be hard to remove these two bolts on the inside and the outside. So what you need to do is you need to put a jack on the lower control arm and relieve pressure. So you see how there's pressure on there, the bolt's crooked? Now I need to keep jacking the car or the spindle up. Actually, let me go down a little bit. I'm gonna relieve a little bit of the pressure. There's too much pressure on it. Okay, I'm jacking up the whole car. But let me, you know what, to relieve the pressure, let me pull this out. We just have to keep messing with this. So let me go up a little bit. Let me get, this will probably work. little bit because I can see it's kind of a little bit crooked. That out. So I'm still dealing with this one. This one's a little tough. So actually I might have to push this back in. So guys, what you need to do is actually put the jack on the lower control arm, not on the spindle, okay? Never leave the pressure. You see that? I made a mistake where I put the jack on the spindle. Do not do that. Put the jack on the lower control arm, and the bolt should come out easily. All right. Cool. So the lower control arm drops. So the only thing that's holding up this shock now, I drop it right now.
Should I hold that down there?
Yeah. Now with an assistant, here we go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And it's out. That's how fast it is. Make sure you have some power tools, or else you're gonna struggle like I did. So lesson learned on this one is even during reinstallation, do not put the jack on the spindle. Put the jack on the lower control arm. Down. Oh yeah, dude, looks way better. Can you tell the difference?
We're gonna have to let it settle.
We're gonna have to let it settle for about a week. But this is our H&R springs. This is about 1.8 inch drop, right? Which is rotored. I think they're gonna settle and they're gonna go to 2 inches. So try it for a week. See if it should settle down. Get in alignment. We'll put your wheels on, and should be good to go. Looks nice. Looks better than when you came in. We'll do it before and after. So. All right, we just got done lowering the car. It's about a 1.8 inch drop. So hopefully it'll lower as he's driving it, commuting during the week.
Next week we'll see rims on it.
Yep, we'll put rims on it next week and continue the video on his build.